We give everybody a couple of more minutes, then we get it popping. Have you guys, any of you guys have any business or looking to start a business? Give me 1 second, guys. I apologize.
Always looking for business,
Okay,
finding
okay.
new ways to get a different income. So I'm on here to learn what I can from you today.
Excellent, excellent. That's awesome, man, because having a business, I recommend everyone to have their own business or at least have an LLC. You don't necessarily have to be doing something, but I recommend everyone to have an LLC, whether it's your name, because your name is a business. Notice how your EIN is 9 numbers, just like your social security. So, that's some gems I'm gonna be giving you guys on how to get it started or and why you should start a business. It's real crucial. Okay, Noel, you got a DJ business? Yes, 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 man. I see you guys, man. All right. I'm gonna give 1 more minute, and I guess we'll get the class actually started. But yes, having an LLC is crucial, man, because you could take advantage of the tax brackets, which are extremely beneficial, especially for those that are, we're in tough times, so it's harder to try to get to the next level. And having an LLC is extremely crucial, man. All right, so let's get into it. I'm gonna send one more message out. All right. So for those that are coming in now, my name is the Credit Juggernaut. My real name is Elvin. I go by the Credit Juggernaut. I specialize in credit, funding, LLC, business startup, business, credit business, business. All right, so let me break it down for you guys. So having an LLC is extremely crucial because you get to take advantage of tax brackets and also like for instance you get to claim your home as your office, you get to claim some of your your light bill, your expense, your gas. Yeah, Noel told me he's doing a DJ business. You could all your equipment could be tax deductibles. So this is crucial. I recommend everyone to start an LLC. So having an LLC is good, but having an OLLC is even better. So if you have an LLC that's been active for 2 years, it's easier for you to get funded. So this is why I recommend everyone to get one. So you start your LLC now. You don't necessarily have to do anything in the LLC, but what's going to benefit you from that is the age of your LLC because normally the average company, the average LLC, average business normally fail within the first 2 years. So the banks are looking at this. If you're 6 months, if you're a year old, they kind of put you in a bubble. So, in order for you to jump out that bubble, this is what we're going to go over. In order for you to jump out that bubble, you need to be able to have at least 2 years. If you have 2 years in your under your LLC, you kind of get put in a bracket that says, okay, this person is serious. This person is, more than likely is going to be successful. So let's help him out. And so the first thing that you want to do always is a name, right? But like I said, if you don't have a name, you can always start with your own name. Me, I go with Infante's Enterprise. That's my name. I always do the enterprise. You want to have like a generic business, so you don't want your business to necessarily say exactly what you do. That's another thing. That's the first thing we're gonna go over, which is choosing your name. So we're gonna go over 13 steps, and after these 13 steps, you should probably be in a real good situation where starting your business is gonna be extremely helpful, beneficial, and it's gonna bring a lot of prosperity to you. So starting with your name, you want to have a generic name. You don't want your name to necessarily say exactly what you do Because again, if you do, let's say Elvin's trucking, right? I get automatically put in that bubble of trucking, and my funding will only be minimized to what I do. So if you look at Walmart, if you look at Publix, if you look at Starbucks, even Starbucks, you don't necessarily know what they do unless you know what they are. So you want to have a generic name. The first thing you want to do is go into a website called NameCheck. All right, let me put this up for you guys. Be able to share this. The first thing you guys want to do is go to a place called NameCheck, and you want to be able to. Am I sharing my screen? No. Okay. So here's my list here. I hope you guys can see it. I don't see myself. Can you guys see me? Okay, I see myself. So here's
Yes.
my list. This is my list here. Bear with me. Like I said, I've been gone for a while, man. Trying to come back in the routine of things. So here's my list. There's 13 steps that you want to do to get your business started. The first thing you want to do is go to name check. When you go to name check, this allows you put in all your names that you come up, all the ideas that you come up with. And like I said before, you don't want to have what your business does in the business name. So that's why you see other companies that have consulting, solution, enterprise. These are the type of names you want to pick. So whatever it is, like like I said, I always go with the name first. So whatever your name is, enterprise or solutions or things of that nature. You don't want to put like Infante's credit, right? Because again, you get minimized, you get put in this bubble when it doesn't allow you to grow, and you just get stuck there, and it'll be hard for you. You could go from getting loans from $1,000 to getting $10,000 loans just because of your name check, your name. So you want to go to name check. You want to put your information into name check because name check checks all platforms. So you go to all platforms. It checks Google, Yahoo, all the social medias. So therefore, you know if that name is taken. After that, you want to create an email. You want your email to be a professional email. You don't want to use things like Yahoo and Google. These are personal emails. Even if they have a business name attached to it, it's still a personal email. You want the email to say info at your business name, info, or you don't want it to be Google because again, we're talking about getting put in that box, in that little bubble where it does not allow you to grow. You ever been, I don't know if anyone has businesses here, but if you ever had a business and you try to get a loan, you'd be like, what am I gonna do with $1,000 when I'm trying to get equipment that costs $5,000, $10,000? Well, this is why. It's because of your email and your name, your addresses, things of that nature. So make sure you get a proper email using what I said. You could do this while you do your domain. So after you pick your name, you go to domain or you go to Bluehost, any of those nature, wherever you choose to host your name. Obviously, you want to go with .com. So if you can't find a .com, I recommend that you kind of keep tweaking your name until you get a .com because those are the easiest ones to go. Now, if you already have an existing business and you want to open up more things, info or shop, you could always put that at the end instead of .com. But you always want to have a .com where it'll be the main source where your page is at, like your website. So first your name, then your email, and then you want to get a virtual address or in some cases, if you don't have a brick and mortar, like a structure business where you have a door, you want to be able to get a virtual address. You do not want your name, your home to be your business address. First, that defeats the purpose of a limited liability company. The LLC is designed to protect you. So if you don't if you want to be protected, you want to utilize an address that is not your home, because then we'll know where you live at, right? So a virtual address works is pretty much a address that you pay for monthly, or you could pay for it yearly, but you want it to be able to receive mail there. So you want to be receive mail because that's where all your important docs and all your business mail will go to. So now you have two different types of mail. You could get mail sent to your house, but it's not you don't want mail sent to you from the IRS or things like of that nature. You either want it to go to the registered agent or you want it to go to the virtual address. And you could go to I recommend using iPostal One. It's extremely cheap. It's economical. They awesome. They also provide different services. I think you could have a receptionist where people, pick up the phone and say, "Hey, this is Infante's Enterprise. How can I help you?" And then they'll transfer you over. Let's get into any of you guys that have any questions. I don't. I feel like I'm moving too fast. You can always slow me down. Okay. All right. Um. So the fourth step is getting a business phone number. You want to be able to get a business phone number and not a secondary cell phone. And again, I want you guys to understand this. This is crucial. You are an entity. When opening up a business, you want to have the business have its own identity. Let it be what it is. If it's credit repair, let it be credit repair, but allow it to have its own entity. So when having its own entity, you got to have his own name, own address, his own phone number, everything separate from you. A secondary cell phone is still your cell phone, even if it's your second number. You could still have a you could still have a business phone number that people call you to that number and it still rings on in your cell phone, and then therefore you could go ahead and get a second cell phone. And what I mean by that is like for instance, freedomvoice.com is an excellent source for secondary business numbers. You want to be able to get a 1-800 number. And the reason why this is important, again, the reason why we're setting up the business the way we're setting it up is because you want to use the banks to fund the business. And this is how you grow. You want to be able to grow your business is by going and get funding for the business. So, God forbid if your business fail, let it be the business, not you personally. So if the business fail, okay, then you go ahead and try it again. You start a new business and you do it all over again. But if what happens if you use your own funding? Once you use your own funding and the business fails, the one that's affected is you. And then you'll have trouble with your credit. Then you'll have trouble getting a home. Then you have trouble getting loans for your personal or for emergencies and things of that nature. So again, what we're doing here, excuse me, what we're doing here is creating an identity for your business, and these are the proper steps to take. So Freedom Voice is excellent. You go ahead and get a 1-800 number. Once you get that 1-800 number, then you link it to your cell phone. So if they call that 1-800 number, you still get the call into the cell phone. And the reason why it doesn't matter where it rings. The reason why we're building this is so when we go to the banks, it's like, okay, this person is serious. This person is actually trying to establish and develop a company that's going to be here for a long time. And the banks, again, they don't give money to people that don't need money. They give money to people that have money. And you want to kind of build that image that you're established and you're looking to move forward. So getting a second cell phone, no good. Getting a secondary 1-800 number, excellent. You add that to your cell phone number, and again, it still rings there. But remember, all this information, you want to put it in certain applications, banking applications, applications for vendors and things of that nature. So, which we will go over either in this class or maybe some other class. You wanna obtain an LLC, so you go to your Secretary of State. I live in Florida, so for me it will be SunBiz. You go on SunBiz, you register your business. You pay for the annually registration. In my case, I believe it's $125. Some states vary between 100 to 200 bucks. You want to make sure you do that. So again, the banks search all this up. When you go to the bank, the first thing they're gonna ask you is for these documents. Let me see your LLC. Let me see your Secretary of State. So you want to go to your county, or I mean your state Secretary of State, and fill up your LLC, and you'll be able to register. But the reason why this is number five instead of number six, is because we want to be able to get the name first. You want to be able to get a 1-800 number, an email, and a virtual address. Why? Because when you register the LLC, you want to be able to add this information into your county. I'm sorry, your state. Because remember, what we're building is an identity for the business and maximize the protection of the LLC. If you go and you do it backwards and you go get an LLC, you're gonna put your name, you're gonna put your address, you're gonna put your phone number, and then you have to pay for an amendment or just be at risk all year until it's time to change it. So you want to be able to go through these steps correctly so we could obtain what we got to do. After that, you could obtain a registered agent. You could do this yourself. Don't put yourself as an owner. You put yourself as a member or a manager. Again, you're trying to protect yourself. Because if you're an owner and I get into a car accident and I know you're the owner of, beauty salons, and, I could sue you for that as well. I could sue you for all you have. I might not get it, but the more I sue you for, the more opportunity I have of getting things. So you want to protect yourself. A registered agent is receiving legal documents on your behalf. And it also acts as a person that's kind of operating the business, but it's technically is all you. So remember, you want to the rules of the rich is own nothing but control everything, and that's what we're trying to design here. We're trying to design a system where you have nothing to do with this, but you control everything. Right? In paper, it doesn't look like that way, but in reality, it is what it is. You guys have any other questions? Like I said, sometimes I get to talk and then I move a little too fast. I'll give you guys a couple minutes. All right. Um, After all this, you want to go to the IRS, register the business. This goes after you register the business, so you want to kind of connect the business tied up to a EIN. For those that don't know, a EIN is an active social security number for the business. And this allows you to, create credit and build off of that number. So this number is a social, and it allows you to build credibility for credit and things of that nature. So this is also free. Go to irs.gov, register. Once you register the business, once you go through the first 6 steps, then you go and do this. Also, this step right here is crucial, especially for those that are trying to develop business credit. Business credit is amazing because business credit is like 10 times more than what personal credit is. And what I mean by that is, if you was to get $1,000 loan, and in personal, in credit, it will be equal to a $10,000 loan. If you was to get a $10,000 loan, it will be equal to $100,000 loan. So it's always 10 times more. For some reason, it takes much more to operate a business. You got expense, you got employees, you got things and tools and stuff of that nature that you need to be able to be successful. In personal, 80%, 90% of people that get personal loans actually develop liabilities with it. And this is why they don't give you so much, because people tend to go get money from the banks, and then they want to buy sofas and TVs and Yeezys and Gucci's and Louis. Well, all you did was create a liability because now you got to pay all that back, and that money that you're paying back is not creating or developing any more money for you. As for business, 80-90% of people that get business loans, they tend to pour it back into the business, which in return grows the business, paying back the money, building an asset, and then the bank is going to say, well, we're going to give you more so you could continue to grow. And the more you grow, the more money they make because you keep going back to them, right? And we're going to talk about banks in a little bit as well. This is also crucial. A lot of people don't do this one here. Step number 9 is creating an operating agreement. This is crucial. This is crucial because this is pretty much saying who you are and how you operating in the business, and especially if you have a partner. If you have a partner, this would kind of gives out the roles and what's your positioning in the business. And again, you could be an owner and still be an employee. So remember that you could be both of these things. And I recommend for you to do this. If you're an owner, allow yourself to receive an owner's check, right? A distribution check, but also a payroll check. So you're an employee to the business. And that being said, let me mention this as well. This is crucial because a lot of people who are self-employed, because they are self-employed, they like to put self-employed. Whenever you put self-employed, again, this goes back to what we was mentioning at the beginning. It puts you in a bubble where it doesn't allow you to grow. Being self-employed is not always good because a lot of people fail at being self-employed. And now we live in an era where we have a lot of scams going on. We have a lot of scammers. So people open up business and try to get loans and just dip out. So you want to make sure that you do this correctly and put yourself as the employee. You work for the company that you own. So I own Infantes Enterprise. Whenever I fill up applications, they say, who am I employed by? I don't never put self-employed. Rather, I put that I work for Infantes Enterprise. And I receive a check from this company, and therefore you look more established than someone that's just self-employed. Again, I'm gonna give you guys some more room. If you guys have any questions, you could put it in the chat, or you could unmute yourself. All right. So we was going over number 9, which is operation agreement. This pretty much is establishing your roles in the business, who you are and what you do, what are your scope of work, and especially if you have a partner. If you have a partner, this is beautiful because this allows you guys to part ways if you ever part ways, and it will be already in agreement. Now, you could be best friends with the person you start a business with, and then, money changes everybody. I've seen it. It doesn't matter what you do. At the end of the day, people are looking out for their own interests, their family's interests, whatever the case may be. Not necessarily always being wrong, but sometimes things just don't work out. The way you think and the way you process might not work for the way I think and the way I process. And we didn't realize that until we started working together. So having an operation agreement would allow you to dissolve the business in a peaceful manner where we both could walk away understanding what happened because it was all in black and white from the very beginning. So in the operation agreement, you want to be able to do this. And again, if you guys need help with any of these stuff, you can always DM me, hit me up on my chat, and I'll run you through and help you out. Here, I'm just trying to break down and how to pretty much establish, business. Creating a business plan. Now, I love this one right here because I like to use this concept here. Those who fail to plan to fail. So if you have a business plan, this allows you to put your ideas in your head and put them on your paper, which is now a plan, right? And now you have a goal on how to achieve these plans and these processing systems in line, people, and you get to utilize everything in a simplified way because you have a better understanding and you can see your vision. But most importantly, other people could see your vision. If I'm an investor and I like what you're saying, I like your whole process, I like your game plan, and I like your business, and I think it will flourish, and I think this is amazing. How would I be able to invest in your business if I don't see it? You understand? So having a business plan is crucial. Within your business plan, you want to put your marketing, your strategies, how you're going to achieve these things, what are your process, your goals, and how long do you wish to achieve these things. So let's say I want to make $20,000 a month. How do I know how do I know how to accomplish those things if I don't know what's the proper channels or the proper steps? Now, let's say I put $20,000 a month, and this month I only made 10,000, right? Okay, so what do I have to do now to double that? Right? I know what I've done to make the 10. Now, can I double that? And now you understand, like, okay, I have this much time. I did this in this much hours. I did this in 1 week. Or I realized, like, these people are interested in this type of subject or topic or this product or this service. So let me increase my volume over here so I can increase my pay. So having a business plan is crucial. And also the banks ask for this. So again, like I said from the beginning, for those that are joining, we are trying to develop an identity for the business alone. Let the business be in its business, right? And you be who you are. You have your identity, and the business has the identity. The beautiful thing about it is you pretty much don't take none of the risk. You just control everything. Now, if like I said from the beginning, if the business goes down, cool, it goes down, fail business. You write it off and you move on to the next one. You do it again. But if you start the business and you are the business, once the business fails, which sometimes it does, you don't have a successful business until you do it 10, 20 times. Some people it takes longer. Some people get it right on the first one, which is amazing. But if you don't, you know what to do on the next one. And this allows you to get to the next step without having to take all the hiccups and all the bumps and all the bruises as an individual. Allow the business to take all the hits. Allow the business to take all the funding. Like I said, if it fails, you write it off and you move on to the next business. Where we at? We are in opening up a bank. Okay, this one is amazing here. Now I'm gonna drop some gems on this one. Normally don't give all this info out, but having a business bank is amazing. And I recommend for people to have multiple banks. And I have a system in place where I try to open up business bank accounts every 3 to 6 months. Now, you might have a main bank account, which is for your business. Amazing. Let all the money flow in through that. But for tax write-offs purposes, this is amazing because let's say I have 5 banks, right? I could literally take one of the banks and put all the tax money in there. Okay, this is how I'm gonna pay my taxes at the end of the year, or every 3 months, or every 6 months, whatever it may be. And then you say, well, I let's say you have $100,000. Out of the $100,000, your goal and your job is to minimize on how much of that money you're paying taxes on, right? This is where tax write-offs come off, right? So you want to be able to say, you know what? I made 100 grand, but I'm gonna put $20,000 into marketing, so that you put it into marketing. Sorry about that. You put it into marketing, so then you open up a bank account strictly for marketing. And then you put $20,000 in there. One for taxes, one for business growth, or one for tools and equipment. And first, your accountant is going to love you because it's going to help them break everything down easier. So more than likely he'll have a clear mind. He or she will have a clear mind, which will help you write more things off. But not only that, banks are built off relationships. So the more banks you have, the more relationship you're building. And that what allowed you, again, we're doing this for entity and for funding purposes. So the more banks you have, the more relationships you have, therefore the more chances you have of getting funding. and you will understand how that one bank works. So, for instance, I like to have a regional bank, right? In my area, we have a McCoy, we have Fairbanks, we have Federal Credit Unions. So you want to get those type of banks, and I mean, I'm sorry, not the credit unions. These are credit unions. Then you want to have region banks, and then you want to have major banks. These are the top three banks that you kind of always want to work with. Region banks are kind of different because it's pretty much only in that area, and I live in Florida, so over here we have certain banks that you might not find nowhere else. But you want to be able to build these relationships with these banks because they want to help you. You want to have a major bank because major banks, obviously, they're everywhere and it's easily accessible to deposit or receive or take money. And then you have your federal banks, your union banks. Your union banks are very good because they actually are a personal bank that works with you. So you could kind of build your own credit with your credit union banks. Navy Federal is an amazing bank. Trust is an amazing bank. So you want to look for a credit union because they're going to give you the best interest rate. They're going to give you the best interest rate for homes, cars, and you can always get loans and stuff from these banks. Again, excuse me. Second. You want to be able to build relationships with these banks. So the more banks you have, the more chances you have of getting funded. And I'm gonna use one more example on this. If I'm trying to raise $60,000, because I need to buy a truck or whatever it may be, an equipment or tool that I need to get to increase my business to get to the next level. I need this printing machine and it costs 50 grand. But you know that you could get a $20,000 loan from Chase. Well, $20,000 is not going to cut it when you need 50, right? But if you have three banks, you could go to each bank and get 20, 20, and 20 if you are established and properly set up. Which in on Monday's class we'll go over personal credit, and I'll teach you how to leverage your personal credit to be able to get things for your business and then delete it off your personal credit. So these are things that we're going to go over on Monday, so tune in for that one as well. I'm not going to give you all the gems. So yes, this is the reason why opening up multiple banks are really crucial and important. Getting your first credit card. So I guess we go into this topic now. If your credit score is about 650, 680, you could go straight from the jump and get a credit card for the business. You're gonna do a personal guarantee on it. Remember what I said from the beginning? You want to be able to utilize these tools to build assets. We're no longer in the room of building liabilities. We are investors. I want you to have that mindset that you are an investor, right? Most of you guys obviously on this channel because you are traders. Either you trade or you buy stocks or you do dividends, which I also do myself. So you want to have the mindset of an investor. Always think this right here. You are always trading. And I don't mean the stock market. I mean your life. You are always trading your time in for something that's valuable to you. 95% of us trade our time in for dollars, right? But you gain the leverage and now you don't want to give up that leverage, so you want to keep that leverage by allowing that dollar to go out there and make more dollars for you. So it's like a soldier and a general. The dollars being your soldiers and you the general. You did what you had to do to climb up to get that rank to become that general. So now leverage that. Go out there and allow your money to work for you. So when we talk credit cards and we talk funding and we talk about extra money and we talk about utilizing all these funds, we want to remember we are in the business to build assets. We want to build generational wealth. We want to bring money that makes money, and we want to build systems that create money for us. Therefore, we could get out this rat race that we no longer have to face going to work every day. going crazy, waking up at 5 in the morning, getting home, being away from your family, missing out Christmas and Thanksgivings and whatever it is that you're into, you know, the goal is freedom. The goal is to be able to say, I want to take my kids and we're going to go to New York. I'm going to take my kids, we're going to go to Atlanta. You know what? We're going to go on a cruise this week. And I think we should take some time off. Let's go camping, right? Excuse me. So that is the goal. The goal is to purchase freedom, buy back your time. So when you trade in your time in for dollars, remember that you don't want to give up the leverage. You want to be able to utilize the leverage to create more freedom and more accessibility to things that's going to get you to the next level. You don't want to take your money and go buy sofas and couches. Now, let me tell you something. Rich people don't buy Lamborghinis and Ferraris and Gucci belts and all this stuff. Yes, they do have it. Yes, they do. But who owns it? 95% of the time is the business. Either the business is getting it for them or they're utilizing tools to get these things, like cashback. And we're going to talk about that on Monday. Utilizing cashbacks and things of that nature. So, yes, opening up a business, establishing credit is for the ability to you to buy back your freedom so you could be able to utilize these things later on in the future. And buying $1,000 belt won't cost you nothing because it's not coming from your pockets, it's coming from your assets, right? Or having cell phones paid every month, right? Or your bills paid every month is coming from assets. For those of you guys who are trade or are not thinking about businesses, I recommend still open up a business and trade within that business. Build dividends payments and dividends payouts where you could, the first thing you say, okay, I got a $90 cell phone bill. How can I collect $90 every month from this dividend portfolio that I'm building? So you want to be able to build assets. And this is why in return, we don't care about interest, right? When we talk about interest rate, we don't care. Why? Because we are building assets, right? And I'm going to utilize an example here. If I go get a loan, right? Let's just to simplify things. Let's say $100. I go get $100 loan. Um, and I gotta pay back $2 every month, and that's 20%, right? What it matters to me if I'm making 4%, if I'm making 40% somewhere else, right? If I could utilize these $100 to make $40 every month, it's okay if I pay 20 because by the time I'm done paying it, I build an asset to which I am now collecting 40% of. So this is why we don't care. And sometimes the rich people have people that are, they're not dreamers. These people are okay with the 9 to 5. Then I'm not knocking nobody with a 9 to 5. Don't get it twisted. I think having a job is an amazing thing as long as you utilizing it for leverage. But some people use other people to build their dreams, and that's we want to be in that side where we having other people help us build our dream. And if I buy a house and I have a 18% interest, it don't matter when I'm gaining so much more from this. These people are paying the 18%, not me. These people that I'm renting the property to are paying you know what I mean? So this is why it's important. So yes, make sure you have no derogatory or no collections. Your credit is above 650. You could go get a business credit card right away and utilize that money to grow the business or establish, get products or inventory or whatever it may be. And you want to, again, remember, keep receipts for everything you built here because there's going to be a point where you move backwards because you want to write all these things off, right? And again, like I said, if you don't know, you don't have a name and you don't know what you want to start your business with, you can always change that. Start with your name. My name is Elvin Infante. Well, I'm going to open up Elvin Infante's LLC, and I'm gonna give you some gems real quick. So, for instance, let's say you pay your light bill every month, right? Because you have everybody pays bills, right? Whenever you call the company and say, "Hey, I want to add light to this home," they're gonna say, "Okay, what is your name and what is your social security?" Well, you're going to give them the business name, which is your name. And they're gonna say, okay, give us our social security number. What is the social security number? Your EIN. That is 9 digits, just like your social security is. So now every month you pay your light bill, but at the end of the year, you write that off 100% because it's business expense. Right. So this is a little hidden gem and how to utilize some of these ideas. So yes, getting a credit card for the business is amazing. And then you want to get licensed and bonded after you already get the ball rolling. You don't want to do all this from the very beginning if you don't have no clients. So get the ball rolling, get a couple of people to come in. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I apologize. And get a couple of people to come in and open up, help you establish, get your name out there, get some funds coming in, and then go get licensed and or go get bonded. Whatever it is or requirement that your type of business requires for you to get to the next level. All right, so this is it, guys. These are the first 13 steps that you need to do to utilize to make sure your business is established correctly. It is in the proper channels so you could be able to go get funded in the near future. So you do these things correctly, and I'm telling you, I promise you, you do this correctly, you go get funded. This is going to help you go to the next level. This is going to take you, and for those that already have a business, you could now go backwards and fix all these things up, right? It's going to take a little more because you are already established. But if you go back, fix it all up, and now go back to the bank, I guarantee you the money that they're going to give you is totally different. And like I said before, if you have $125 or whatever state you're in, I don't think it passes over 200. But let's say you got 200 bucks. Go open up your LLC. It doesn't matter what you're gonna do. You don't even know. You don't have to know. You don't have to. You don't. You might not even have an idea. It doesn't matter. What you want is those 2 years, 2 years of operating. Oh, this person's established. The longer, the better. The longer, the bigger the check. So, it's gonna be hard for you to go get a loan for 100 grand if you only been open for 5 months. It's not gonna happen. You know, there are ways for it to happen, but then you have to go through other steps. And what you want to do is be able to. Uh, s- I do. We could go over that in another class. But yes, you want to be able to establish yourself correctly so you could go to the bank, utilize the tools that you already have. Remember, it's all about leverage. You're leveraging everything that you have. You want to utilize the system that they already have in place, and it's easier for you to get to the next level. What's broken, keep it broke. If it's not, build it all over again. Do it all over. You don't have to go back, and you could just start all over. Like I said before, you could start with your name until you figure out what you want to do. Then you go and amend the business and switch it all up and start from there. And in some other classes, not this one because I'm running out of time, but on some other classes, I want to teach you guys how to establish business credit to where the point where you have business everywhere, Home Depot, Lowe's, different vendors, where you could utilize these things to get yourself to the next level. And then you'll be at a point where you live in your life and everything's being paid for or from the business. So, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up in like 5 minutes, but I'm willing to take up any questions you guys have related to this subject. Like I said, on Monday, we'll go over personal credit, right? Because personal and business go hand in hand. We want to be able to establish that as well. So today, just giving you some setting up your business the right way, some one-on-one. If you guys want to reach out to me after this Zoom, you can always hit me up on the Credit Juggernaut chat, and we'll chop it up. Or you can hit me up directly on my DMs, and we'll chop it up. But if you guys have any questions, I'm more than open to answer them. So I'll give you guys about 5 minutes, 7 minutes. We get it started. Guys, let me know. I appreciate you guys for being here, by the way. It's an honor to be able to, you know, teach these classes. When I first started, I learned the hard way. I had to a lot of bumps A lot of hiccups, a lot of bruises, a lot of falling down. I wish I had somebody like me in my corner to run this game for me and put me on game so I could get to the next level. So if you guys have any questions, man, let me know. I know Noah talked about a DJ business. Do you guys have equipment already? A few years ago. Um, you can probably, but I'm not. I would recommend opening up a new one because I don't know what you've done with it. Um, and you want to be able to establish it with the actual business because more than likely, uh, the EIN is attached to your personal name, so it's probably going to go down as a sole proprietor. But you want to open up the business and register that business with the EIN, and therefore, you know that they are linked together, and that EIN is at zero. It has nothing behind it. We don't know if you owe any money on that EIN, which I hope you don't, or have any issues or any backup, any hiccups. You don't want to figure that out later on after you establish the business. So just start a brand new LLC with a brand new EIN. Maybe you could yeah, then maybe then if you haven't done nothing with it, then possibly you could go and just switch it up and amendment over to the business. And like I said, as far as equipment and tools, you want to be able to utilize these things to if you get a credit card to build it off of that. And even if you and this is another gem I'm gonna give you guys. Even if you bought everything for the business or wrote everything or whatever it is, expense services that you got to get your business established, if you did this with your own money, I would recommend yourself to write a big letter uh, from the business over to yourself. Remember, like I mentioned, you guys are two different entities. So you want to be able to get this business, write a letter pretty much saying that you're getting a loan from yourself. And you want to sign that off as yourself, and then you want the other one to be signed off as the business. You pretty much saying, hey, this company owes me $2,000 from what I've loaned him or her to start the business off. So later on, when the business is established, you'll be able to pay yourself these 2 grand back without being tax deductible or penalized for it. So you just write yourself letters because, like I said, you guys are two different entities. Any more questions? Big Zay? Is it Wale? I'm here for you guys, man. Don't be shy. We got about 3 more minutes left here, guys. So don't be shy. Ask whatever. You could write it in the chat. You could unmute yourself, talk directly, whatever it may be. Okay, go ahead. I'll take those questions too. I'll take personal questions. I'll give you 2 minutes. If you want personal questions, I hope you tuning in on Monday for this. Because on Monday, I'm going over personal credit and how to establish credit for personal. But go ahead and ask me whatever you got. And that class will be held on Monday, 6 p.m. You're 17? Okay. What's your question? There's multiple ways. So once you turn 18, I mean, that means you already got established credit. So once you turn 18, whoever is whoever you're under as an authorized user, I hope that they had good credit and maintained that portfolio well enough for you to assume all that credit history. So when you turn 18, instantly that same day you got credit, and uh, and that's a good thing. The first thing I would do is I would whatever bank it is that you are an authorized user to, I will go to that bank and try to get credit from there, and that should help you propel you forward to where you already have credit. So it'll be easier for you to establish credit from that point forward. And once you do have that, try to just minimize your credit under 30%. Ideal would be 10%, but you can start with that. When's your birthday? Well, like when would you be 18? Nice. Okay. Couple of weeks. Couple of weeks and you'll be there. It's okay, buddy. Next class I'll be available Monday and we could go over that. And like I said before, I'll be trying to do these class weekly. So if you can, guys, it'll be easier for you to write down your own questions. And then later on, you could go ahead and ask me, hey, what you think about this? Or what about that? And how do I do this? I think it's simplified things for you guys to be able to ask me the questions that you want to ask me. And it'd be easier for you to guys to remember it rather than try to remember it and ask the question at the same time while obtaining the information. So if you write them down, ask me the questions, I think it'll be easier for you to receive the information. Any other questions, guys? Nope. Okay. Listen, guys, I appreciate you guys. It's an honor to be here, be able to provide this information for you. Go on the chat, make sure you add it, show some love, let them know we here. And like I said, I truly appreciate you, and I will be continue to be here weekly basis. I got so much gem for you guys on how to establish business, how to establish credit, how to get certain things, how to pay your home in 5, 10 years, how to get cars, leverage, velocity banking. I have so much gem for you guys. You just have to be here. I will definitely be posting it. Alrighty. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. Just show me some love on the chat so we could get more people to come because the more the better. My goal is to spread this message, get people out of this hole that we in, and pass on generational wealth, get your kids established and prepared for the future. And that's what I'm here for. So I truly appreciate you guys. I love you guys. God bless you. You guys have an amazing day. And like I said, if you need any help, even if it's not here, just hit me up on the chat, hit me up on my DMs. I do credit repair, so if you need those services, you could reach out to me. If you got established credit, I could teach you how to build up on that and then get other things as far as leveraging your future. So thanks again. I appreciate you guys. And here we are. See you. Peace. See you guys in the next one.